Now it's time to talk about the story and music of Final Fantasy VI. As a reminder, I'm going to tell the story of the game and then stop occasionally to talk about the music in those certain parts. So let's dive right in. You start off with Terra, a girl with magical powers who lost her memory and is being used as a slave for the Empire. She is freed and saved by the Returners, a rebel force against the Empire who are based in Narsh, which is a mining town in the north part of the world, and she begins her journey with Locke, a treasure hunter / thief. Now right off the bat you're introduced to several themes. The very first theme you hear is what I like to call the Overwhelming Force theme. This theme occurs usually in tandem with the Empire during the first half of the game. It also always seems to show power of some kind that seems indomitable and all-powerful. The soldiers in the mech suits talking about how they controlled a girl who seemed to have killed lots of other soldiers shows the Empire is powerful and doesn't mess around. Then, as they run back towards Narsh, the opening credits roll and you hear Terra's theme. Terra's leitmotif also represents hope in spite of overwhelming odds, which contrasts nicely with the Overwhelming Force theme. These are also the two most reoccurring leitmotifs in the game, so it's good that they introduced them early. You also hear Another World of Beasts. This song plays anytime the Espers, magical creatures from another world, are the key subject of the scene. Then we see Locke, whose theme represents adventure, and it's the first really exciting music you hear in the game. They meet with Edgar, the king of Figaro, which is a kingdom under the Empire, who's secretly with the Returners, his brother Sabin, and Bannon, the leader of the Returners. The Empire discovers that Figaro is working with the Returners, and we see Kefka, the Empire's ambassador and the Emperor's advisor. When Kefka attacks, Castle Figaro submerges into the sand and Terra, Locke, and Edgar get away. Here we hear Edgar and Sabin's theme, which has a royal feeling, which makes sense given that Edgar is a king and Sabin is his brother. Edgar and Sabin's relationship is explained a little more in depth later in the game. Kefka is introduced as this kind of goofy, clown-like character, but slowly becomes more and more evil as the game continues. His music sounds like a creepy circus theme to reflect this. The troop theme is also introduced. This theme happens anytime you see Imperial soldiers and also reflects on the Empire as a whole. They go to the Returner base back in Narsh and discuss what they should do next, and then they find out that South Figaro is occupied by the Empire and Locke agrees to sneak into the town. There he meets Celeste, an Imperial general who's fed up with the Empire and joins Locke. As Locke is in South Figaro, you hear Under Martial Law, which has the troops theme but less brassy. You also, despite meeting with Celeste, don't hear her theme yet. Sabin, who is washed away in an earlier conflict, meets up with Shadow, then Cyan. Cyan is the retainer of the castle Doma, which is under attack by the Empire led by General Leo. Despite being a general of the Empire, Leo is a reasonable person that realizes that the people in Doma are people too. However, after receiving a letter from the Emperor, Leo leaves and Kefka, in his first truly evil move, poisons the river to Doma and all the people in the city die, including Cyan's family. This game isn't afraid to get dark. Here we hear Shadow's Western-inspired theme. We also hear the troops marching again and the camp outside of Doma. Then you're introduced to Cyan, who is very much inspired by samurai and knights given his outfit and equipment. His theme has a very Japanese style to it. You also hear the Unforgiven whenever Cyan discovers that his family has been poisoned, which is a fitting name in this situation. And it's kind of the standard time to run music throughout the game. Cyan is devastated after his family and kingdom is poisoned, then he joins Sabin and Shadow. Here they go through the Phantom Forest and escape the Phantom Train, a train that ferries the dead to the afterlife. Here is also where Cyan sees his family walking onto the train. Again, not afraid to get dark. Shadow leaves them, which is a common occurrence in this game, and Cyan and Sabin continue to the Veldt where they meet Gao, who I never used, but he shows them a way to a city which then leads them to South Figaro. The Phantom Forest theme appears earlier in the game as it's kind of the go-to cave music in the game. The Phantom Train music is a really cool piece that doesn't seem to fit with any other specific theme in the game. It sounds like a waltz and has a similarity to some Tchaikovsky pieces. Gao's music has a strangely sophisticated single violin theme given his wild nature. All the party members meet up in Narsh and they discuss what to do with the frozen Esper north of town, the same one from the beginning of the game. Kefka and the Empire come to claim the Espers, the Returners fight them off. Terra gets near the Esper, which reacts to her in a big way, then she transforms into a pink monster and flies away. The battle to prevent the Empire from getting the Esper plays the music Save Them, which is also used throughout the game. It has a really cool reprisal of Terra's theme in the middle of the song. This part is also one of the times in the game where the music stays the same between battles and the overworld. This keeps the tension high and shows that this is a special and important part of the game. Next time we're going to get into the opera scene, the Magitech factory, and the catastrophic rearranging of the world. Till then, listen well.